Santorini, the kind of place where beautiful women run through the alleyways in long flowing dresses.
Bro, what's going on?
The kind of place where the hillsides are lined with picture-perfect Instagram sets. And welcome to the other side of Santorini. Now, in a world of picture-perfect photos with filters and Photoshop, the real question is Santorini worth the hype? Today, I'll be sharing with you whether this should be your next destination or whether you might want to skip the crowds. Let's find out. So Santorini is known as the island of love, and so tonight it's just going to be Ruby and I going out on that romantic Santorini getaway. But first I must iron my lady's dress.
Please don't ruin my dress.
Can we take a moment to appreciate just how beautifully I ironed this out? Look
I knew you were gonna say that.
Now you guys are probably wondering, Christian, show me your ride. And obviously, I only deal with the best. This thing only cost me 130 euros for 3 days, which in Santorini, I'm gonna say is a pretty good deal.
Going to 𝗧𝗦𝗏𝗕𝗦𝗏.
Note to self, get here before 7. Finding parking is a mess. Do you know where the sunset's at, sir? No? What do you think of the locals so far?
They're so sweet, you just can't scare them.
The lines are starting. Bit of congestion here, bit of a traffic jam. The moment of truth, the famed sunset view.
Wow!
Oh my gosh.
This is it?
That is insane.
What do you think?
It's just different than all the Greek islands we've done.
Majestic.
This is insane.
It's magical.
I don't know what's prettier. You or the view? The view is absolutely incredible, but one thing you're gonna immediately encounter is a bit of a competition to get that view. And honestly, it comes as no surprise. There's a thing called travel revenge, which is basically everybody making up for lost time over the last couple of years. So apparently, Santorini has been even busier than its usual, so we're starting to see that right here. As a first-time traveler here, I'm coming to all of the tourist stops, and one of the big places to see is the Castle of 𝗧𝗦𝗏. It's like a castle, just Walmart version. This is so incredible. Yeah, you're shoulder to shoulder, but I'm not too fazed by it. Just traveling here with some of my closest friends. 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗦𝗓𝗏 meetup got leaked again, you know how it is. It's like going through alleyways of gold right now. The white of the building just bounces the light. There's so many incredible places to witness the sunset from. Tonight we are having dinner in what feels like a cave, but the coolest part is the view right onto the ocean. I mean, this would be an incredible sunset spot, but you definitely need to put your name down and reserve because this spot is very popular. No. One of the best meals I've ever had. Best way to start your morning in Santorini. Breakfast from home, and Chris has just joined us, our Greek guide. Last night's dinner was romantic, so I can confirm, yes, Santorini, you do one thing very well, and that's provide the ability to razzle and dazzle your woman. But now I want to see what else this place has to offer, because there's a lot of places you can have a romantic evening, maybe not one quite like that, but there's definitely got to be more to this island if you're gonna come all the way here to drop fat stacks and deal with crowds. So let's go explore and see what else there is. All right, so above us is 𝗧𝗏𝗏, and we've just come down below it, and I'm gonna show you a really cool spot that could even be a good sunset spot.
We made it to one of my favorite spots here in Santorini. This is 𝗦𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 Bay.
Wow guys, it is so unique. You can see all the red rock here surrounding, and there's a staircase right there, and it'll bring you all the way to the top, which is basically the sunset spot that everyone goes to. It's where we went to last night. And down here is where a lot of the sunset tours, cruises leave from. One thing you should know is that while some Greek islands have beautiful beaches, Santorini does not have any in the north. We're gonna be going and exploring the south a little bit later, but this is where people are lounging. Basically finding a flat area amongst all these boulders and sharp rocks. Ow, there we go.
Time to go down.
Wow. Oh, look at that! So one of the things you should know about Greek summers is they get really, really hot. You can feel the heat radiating from rocks. So to come here where you can actually swim, enjoy the Aegean Sea, this is definitely a spot that you need to come. Just make sure you bring a towel, some water, and if you're really prepared like we are today, some wine. The honors are yours, my man.
Wow, this is so warm.
I know. A pro tip is bring red wine, not white. Now one thing you should know about Santorini is that it's very windy.
So bad! it.
There's a few fairly highly reviewed restaurants here along the water, but if you watched my video on 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗓, you'll know that I'm afraid of the bias that comes with having such a beautiful view. So we're gonna go find a restaurant that we know has been rated highly purely on the fact that it serves good food. And so we're heading to 𝗧𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗏, spelled F-I-R-A. This is actually the capital of Santorini. It's one of the densest areas you can come with a lot of tourism, a lot of locals. This whole island is literally above the ocean. If you're on the 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗡𝗢𝗧 side, I mean, you can see it for yourselves, guys. Now, I will say it's not as beautiful as the 𝗬𝗏 view. The 𝗬𝗏 view definitely has something a little bit more iconic to it, but definitely a romantic getaway for us. This place is so stunning.
Us and the two boys.
Just us four. We found it!
Everything's full. Like they're not taking reservations tonight.
All right, learn from our mistakes. If you want that view, you gotta make your bookings ahead of time.
Tonight we are eating at Kalia. Follow me.
We made a reservation because we've learned the hard way. You don't get to eat unless you reserve things, at least if you want that view. Wow. So tonight we have pappardelle with the truffle.
You'll never eat anything bad in Greece.
Super good.
That was phenomenal.
Now, one of the things you should know about Santorini is that it's not really a place for nightlife. Right now we're actually on the nightlife street where there's a few clubs, couple bars, but that's kind of the extent of it. Most of the nightlife is happening in Mykonos. This is the island for love.
Yes.
We've just arrived in Kamari, and this is a little tiny beach town. And if you're a budget traveler, just know that you're going to be staying towards these areas most likely. Apparently there's some really cool beaches, so let's go check it out. This is the famous Santorini black sand beach, and it's basically as good as beaches come here on this island, and I'll show you what it looks like. Basically, being a volcano, you've got some very volcanic looking rock. It's definitely not as nice as white sand, but on the feet, it doesn't feel, oh God, it's so hot, oh God, oh God.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Yeah,
it's too hot. It's really hot, but at least it's not sharp rocks, so there's that. So as you guys know, we're here to figure out if Santorini is worth the hike. And as I'm leaving this place that looks like it could be Cancun, very busy streets, I have to say, I'm not ready to make my decision yet. I need to do a little bit more looking around. But one thing's for sure, I don't want to spend any time on that beach, so we're gonna keep moving and try to find a spot.
My last visit to Santorini, I spent a lot of time here because I was a backpacker and I couldn't really afford it, and I barely even got to see 𝗬𝗏 and have the amazing 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗡𝗢𝗧 views. It's really worth thinking about what you can do with your budget if you're gonna visit Santorini.
Because at that point, you probably are better off on many of the other more affordable Greek islands.
Like 𝗦𝗨𝗧.
If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it. It's linked down below. All right, now we're talking. All right, guys, we've just arrived in 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗦. Oh, sorry, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗑𝗢𝗧, that's right. This is cool. Oh, the sand's even nicer here. One of the things that's really cool about this beach is that everything behind you, it looks extraterrestrial. It goes all the way down. Definitely gives a lot of character to this beach. It's time to cool off. So it is that time again, the best time of the day here in Santorini, and that is the sunset hours. Right now we're in another spot which is a little bit under the radar. It's not as popular for sunsets as 𝗬𝗏 or as 𝗧𝗏, but it's called 𝗦𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏. Very strange name. And you might be able to find yourself here some very beautiful hidden gem bars, restaurants to get this incredible sunset view. And tonight we have something very big to look forward to.
We are here at 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗡𝗢, but in Santorini.
So we just did a Mykonos trip and we spent 5 nights at 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗡𝗢. I can tell you, I am so beyond excited. Not for just the sunset, but for the food tonight. But look at this spot here. Insane. You can see the view behind me right here. It's a little different than the view you have in 𝗬𝗏, but I gotta say, if you want to get a lesser mainstream view, then come to
𝗦𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
This is straight up one of the best cocktails I've ever had.
Yeah, can I have some lobster?
So we all travel with different budgets. This is definitely gonna be on the more expensive end. But when you decide to splurge on a meal, I can tell you from 5 days of eating at 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗡𝗢 in Mykonos, this might just be your spot.
This is my first husband here. This is the Greek tomato salad. I don't have to explain. It looks really good.
And all like goat cheese.
God bless the goat. So if you're a creator like myself who lives their lives on the road, you need a laptop that can take you there. And this right here is an absolute workhorse. This is the MSI Z17 and it's one of the most powerful computers on the market. It's touchscreen enabled, and with a 16:10 aspect ratio, you get a ton more vertical real estate. It's got an incredible 90 watt-hour battery, and this beast is backed up by insane CPU power, which means you can crush through 8K renders, you can handle 3D models, and anything you throw at it. It's pretty unreal. So even though it might be inconvenient to work from here, I can do it if I need to. But I'm not going to, it's really hot. Let's move. From life on the road to the home office, see for yourself how the Z17 by MSI is the all-in-one device for your creative needs. And if you're ready to absolutely streamline your workflow as a creator, then check that link down below to get this beautiful device for yourself. Good morning, guys. It is the morning shift here in Santorini. You'll see a lot of creators hustling, getting their TikToks, their reels, and the alleyways are filled with photographers and people in flowing dresses. Now, I can't point fingers. This morning we were one of them. But I gotta say, definitely looks beautiful. Santorini is literally a film set. It is so stunning. Every corner you can find these new opportunities for an incredible photo or video. One thing I gotta say is that you saw what it looked like here at sunset. This is the exact spot where I was shoulder to shoulder, absolutely packed full of people. And in the morning times, it ain't so bad. Yeah, you got some people out getting some photos, but overall, it's like a fraction of what it was. So if you wanna get nice photos, or if you just wanna get 𝗬𝗓 at its best, it's no question, you gotta come in the morning. My shorts came off. So we're here to see if Santorini's worth the hype, and so far one of the things that's definitely lived up to the hype has been 𝗦𝗓𝗘𝗦𝗡 Villas, where we're staying. Super close to the port, the airport. You've got the hillside, you've got the ocean, and some of the most incredible restaurants. Just this morning we had breakfast. I'll show you. Let's go.
This is so good.
Felt like Ryan's reaction was gonna sell it more than anyone else. He's dying over here how good it is. This is a must-visit breakfast spot. Now, in an island where 100 euros barely gets you anything, and I'm talking like the most bare, basic, one-bedroom, closet kind of space, it's gonna come as no surprise that something as beautiful as 𝗦𝗓𝗘𝗦𝗢 is definitely not coming in cheap. Online prices were starting around 450 euros to get into a spot like this, but like all things, you do get what you pay for, and I have to say that the experience of staying here has been phenomenal. And if you're coming to Santorini and you want to have a trip that's worth the hype, definitely check this place out. So today is day 4 in Santorini, and I have to say, now that I understand the area a lot better, the area we're currently staying in is actually my favorite area of the island if I were to come back. Piercos is the name of it. It's kind of like the center. You're somewhere between 𝗬𝗓, somewhere between the red sand beach, and pretty much every other spot on this map. If I'm being honest, the average person by the caldera, they look a little overwhelmed. If you listen in on people's conversations, you even hear some people being like, should we go home? Should we like get out of the sun? Like, people are notably more aggressive. And that's just natural when you have massive crowds of people. I feel like we found the only hidden spot for shopping in all of Santorini. This is like Piercos village. There's a church. There's a lot of these old, very traditional Greek buildings and homes. Very beautiful. You cannot come to Santorini without experiencing one of its finest exports, and that is its white wine. So this is a white wine region due to the acidity from the volcano. This is actually kind of like their flagship wine, and tonight we're at Santo Wines to try a flight of 10 different wines. We got a cheese board, and this is like 42 euros. This is like 32 euros, but it's a very special place. I'd say the wines, about a 7. The cheese platter, about a 3 out of 10, by the way. The view, 10 out of 10. So here we are, our final moments in Santorini, and it's definitely time to conclude. Is Santorini worth the hype? The answer is a little complicated. The answer is yes, but only for some people. From my eyes, from my limited experiences here, I have to say that Santorini is for people that are wanting the most beautiful destination of our planet. One of the most incredible places for sunsets, for beautiful vistas, literally perching up on a volcano and having a beautiful white village to enjoy it all from. And with that, if you want to be by the caldera, whether it be for dinner or a hotel, be ready to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. That leads me to who this is not for. Santorini might not be for you if you have a tight budget. Yes, you can come to 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗘𝗘 and get that beautiful sunset, but most of your time will most likely be spent in the areas of Santorini that frankly just didn't catch my eyes the same way other Greek islands have. It's kind of that differentiation between the highlight moments and the everyday, and for me, I just think that there's other Greek islands that are going to be a little bit more affordable and give you a little bit more of a local experience. Here in Santorini, I didn't really get the opportunity to interact with locals. In Milos, we went to 𝗦𝗨𝗥𝗡 and met amazing Greek people, enjoyed what felt like Greek food made for Greeks. Here in Santorini, it's fine dining and restaurants that are made for people like me. So would I come back? The answer is probably yes. I absolutely think this place is incredible, but I also recognize that YouTube presents me a very unique opportunity to enjoy the best of the best. In short, if you have the means to enjoy the best of the best, then Santorini has it for you. If you don't, then just be aware that you're going to be experiencing a limited version of Santorini. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and enjoy the whole Greek series, which will be linked down below. Let's get lost again in the next one.